This is the Eagle 7 Sports Radio, 103.7 FM, coming to you live from our studios, Wasimi Abeokuta, Iwekuru local government area. My guests are already lined up. All the way from Rabat, I have my good friend, one of Africa's foremost sports journalists, barrister, Osasu Obayuwana. Can you hear me?
Yes, I've always been hearing you. I'm hearing you from.
So you heard.
Victoria.
So you heard my lamentation. You heard my lamentation. With all our.
Yes, I heard you. It reminds me of the article you wrote, Nigeria, Shame of a Nation. I don't know if you remember that.
No, don't let us talk about
you
that.
Wrote.
Don't let us talk about that now. Let's talk positively now. We have won, so all sins are forgiven. All sins are forgiven.
Not yet. Because they have to qualify for the World Cup to be forgiven. And they have not qualified yet.
Good. Let me just find out if Piton is around. Piton, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good morning. I've been here. Nice to meet you.
Very good. Unfortunately, I can't see your face. The world would love to see your face.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I'm just driving, but yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you're still driving, and you have our guests with you. So don't worry, we'll give you a few minutes.
Still on the way. My friends are also on the line as well. As you can see, their videos are on. We're on the way to the stadium.
Well, if you are driving, don't worry. Take your time. Drive to the stadium.
It's fine. We like to get things done, so it's not an issue at all. We just
no. You can't be driving and speaking. It won't be easy, man. But Kiton Taiwo, you know.
Yes, sir.
I knew you many years ago when you were in one academy yourself in Lagos. I don't know if you recall. You were in one academy in Lagos.
Cowbell, I believe. Cowbell Football Academy.
Yes, it was run by my friend Dudu Orume.
By Dudu Orume.
Yes. And you were going to be a great football player. And now I just met you again, and you are a big football FIFA agent and scout. So how has it been, the transition between being a football player and now you being a football agent and scout?
Yeah. Well, I think, to be honest, one of the most important things is that you're able to relate very well with the players. I mean, when you've played yourself, you sort of understand them very well. Being a football agent, it takes a lot of emotional intelligence. You need to be able to manage people's expectations and manage relationships very well. And, of course, when you're speaking with the players and they're telling you, they have injuries or their legs hurt or something, once you've had that sort of track record of also playing, you can sort of pay attention to their sympathy as well. So it makes you credible in their eyes. So yes, I think that's the difference transitioning.
Fantastic. Well, let me welcome you and your guests to Nigeria. You have two gentlemen. I have tremendous interest in the work they are doing. And let me explain so that you can understand. They are listening to me too. You see, you have Marco and you have Nikola. And both of them are from Serbia. They are from two great clubs. OFK Beograd is a club that had visited Nigeria in the early 70s. They came to play, I think, some friendly games in Nigeria. That's OFK Beograd. And Red Star Belgrade, you cannot believe the relationship we had with them. We played as a national team against Red Star Belgrade at that time when it was Yugoslavia. It was still Yugoslavia. And the national team of Nigeria was on their way to the World Cup. And we were going from city to city across Europe to play. And we played against Red Star Belgrade once. But more importantly, which is what I want your coaches, your scouts, our friends to hear, is that Nigeria had an incredible relationship with Yugoslavia. It was one of those countries in Europe that played some of the best football and had some of the best coaches in terms of those who could discover players and teach players how to play. Yugoslavia was that country. So we, as a national team, the Green Eagles at that time, we camped in Yugoslavia at a place called Titovo Uzice. It was called Titovo Uzice, and it was the hometown of Jelisavic Tito. Jelisavic Tito was the coach of Nigeria, one of the best coaches that ever handled the national team of Nigeria. So I want our guests, Marco and Nicola, to know that we had a great relationship with Yugoslavia, part of which is now Serbia, that they come from. So let me just hear their voices and their reaction to the news I just gave them about our relationship with Serbia. And how has it been since they came to Nigeria to do their scouting for talented players to take to OFK, Beograd, and Red Star Belgrade in Yugoslavia. So any of them can just say a word or two. Let's hear you.
Yeah, really nice things to hear about these things from past. It's really nice to have common past, and we are glad if Serbian and Yugoslavian coaches and our footballers are helped in the history of making football in Nigeria.
Yes,
Yes,
you see?
Tito Užice is a city in West Serbia. Yeah, it's now it's called only Užice. Without it, far clubs are big in the third East Europe, and OFK is also historical and important club in Serbia. So we are here, both of us, seven times been in Nigeria, so
Wow.
we get used to it, and then we already know much about football here, about system of football, about academies, how it's all going, and we have some, and I think, big experience with bringing Nigerian players in Serbia. So we already brought between 10 and 15 players in last 3 years, and some of them are already succeed and have a good career.
Wow.
Nicola can also do something.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you for this information that you gave us, because it's very nice to hear about some historical things from Nigerian football, and I'm really glad to hear, as Marco said, that if Serbian coaches and footballers leave some part of being some part of the history of Nigeria, and also, as you know, like Bora Milutinovic is Serbian, and he was leading the national team of Nigeria. So it's one more thing that is connected us as a nation. As Marco said, this is the 7th time that we are coming here. In the past, we had, I think, really great experience, and we are always here, feel when we come here like that we are welcome. And it's every time when we are returning here, we have like positive minds about everything, about tournaments, about the people who are hosting us, and everything. So we are glad to be here again.
What is the quality of the players that you have found now? You know, people talk about talented Nigerian players. Do you find Nigeria a good place to hunt for talented Nigerian players? What is special about the Nigerian players?
In terms of quality, I think that this tournament will be probably at the end the best of quality of players. Till now, we always looking for what we miss in Serbia. You know, Serbians are good technicians, but we lack maybe speed, and that's the main thing we want to find here. Quick players.
Combination of speed and technique.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. That's interesting. I like that. You are looking for players who are athletic, who are strong and fast and powerful. Is that what you're looking for? Or is it the players who are skillful and, technically savvy?
Yeah, it's always bonus if he is a skilled and technical, but we are looking at good bodies, good physicality and the pace of not just quick players, also quick reactions and quick minds,
Okay. Very good. Well, I just want to say, were you able to watch the Nigerian match? Maybe you did not watch it. The Nigeria-Gabon match.
Yeah, we watched
Part.
Oh, you watched some part of it.
60 minutes.
Ah, okay. What do you think of the Nigerian national team?
Yeah, we know them very well. All these players are successful and good players in top level clubs. So I always expect more from Nigerian national team. So this is at least what they can do.
Fantastic. Well,
They even thought they're gonna qualify easier, but because they really have quality. But okay, they needed a little bit of time to start playing as they should.
Well,
Yeah, and good luck against Congo.
thank you very, very much. I must say that, on behalf of all Nigerians, we want to thank you. You have been coming here for 7 years. We want to thank you for the work that you are doing. You have taken 15 of our players to Serbia, and you tell us that they are doing well. This is great job. I saw you people yesterday, and I was very happy to see you because I know that Yugoslavian football, Serbian football, will help us improve the quality of our own football here. And we look forward to getting a good Serbian coach one of these days because you are good teachers. You know how to teach football. I have tasted it. I have seen it myself. And I hope that we will start considering getting a Serbian coach to come here and do some work here in Nigeria rather than just take us there. But anyway, I wish you the best of luck in your continuous work in Ikene.
Thank you.
I hope I'll be able to join you later in the day. I'm coming over. But Kiton, so
Yes,
let me just say, well, you watched the Nigerian match too. So you
Yes,
can
I did.
combine your reaction now to the work you have been doing so far. How has it been?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
to your thoughts on the Super Eagles.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you, Chris.
Sir? Sorry.
Yeah, so go ahead.
In terms of the work I've been doing in relation to like what Nigeria is
Just
I
the
didn't
work
understand
you have been
Can you
doing.
raise, sir?
The work you have been doing this time around.
Yeah.
Just tell us
Yes,
a
sir.
little about it.
Okay, no, I think it's very simple. It's just giving an opportunity to players to go and shine. Me coming up as well, I wanted to be a professional. Didn't really get as much opportunities as, I would have loved to get. So it's just my way of giving back. We spoke about relationship building. How I came across Nicola and Marcus with a good friend of mine, Ognia, who I introduced to a top FIFA unlicensed agent as well, called Ladi Salami, who is Odion Igalo's agent. So imagine the similarities. And then they've gone on to do amazing business. And Ognia put his trust in me to work with his counterparts, Marco and Nicola, and hence we're here. So I think it's beautiful. Nigeria has a lot of talent, a lot of raw talent. I mean, myself and Nicola and Marco, we saw some 16-year-old players yesterday, and they're like, wow, these guys could be the next future of anything.
Wow.
So the possibilities are endless. What do you want? Pace, speed, technique, strength, height. It's all, you literally come and you pick and choose. It's like a forest that has apples, grapes, oranges, mangoes, pineapples. You just take the best and that's it. So it's very exciting. So yeah, we're very excited to be here.
Fantastic. Well, this is good music to my ears that we find people coming out from Europe there to come and see that, yes, we really have quality of players here. But it doesn't translate, to our domestic football here. That's the big thing. What do you think? all this quality of players and so on.
I think,
yeah.
if I'm being honest, I'm happy I get to speak on this. I think the number one situation with Nigeria is a lot of private entities don't want to take ownership. Now, let's use where we are, Remo Stars, Beyond Limits, as an example. Now, the reason they're such a great club and the reason they're doing well is very simple. It's Kunle Shoname. That's it, done. A private individual that has a lot of money to invest and do the right things for his club. Not dependent on the government or anybody to help you. If you have a vision, do it yourself. I mean, with this scouting program, it's a vision that myself, Nicola, and Marco had, and we're doing it ourselves. No money from any government or nothing, And I think more people need to have that mentality. If you want something done, you just get it done. You don't wait for anyone to help you. So that's what I think needs to happen. A lot more private individuals that have the capital, multi-millionaires, billionaires in Nigeria, need to set up their teams and fund it. And obviously at their own risk, but knowing the benefits will be highly substantial once it starts to reward itself.
Fantastic. I wish you the best of luck. You saw the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The conversation this morning is about the Eagles because they are playing tomorrow. So what do you think? What do you think of that team now?
I think they should just go ahead and win. I don't want to talk too much. Nigeria should be the best team in Africa. I don't want to start talking tactical or technical abilities. We have the best striker basically in the world, Osimhen. We have great players all playing in the Premier League, all playing the highest divisions. Guys, they just need to win. That's it. There's no excuses. Just win. That's it. Just win.
Fantastic. So I just take final words from you. Our guest settled. Yes, you are not in the car anymore.
No, so we've actually just got into the campus. I believe they're still in the car having this call with yourself.
Oh, okay.
I've left, so I can actually see them there. They're still in the car.
Okay. So I will speak with them now. Marco. Yeah, Marco and Nicola. Just last words from you. On this your visit. What message do you have for Nigerians?
Yeah, we wish them a luck and health first, and if they continue like this with this project of Beyond Limits, who is really promising, and I think it's be good for Nigerian football in future, and with similar projects, I think future of Nigerian football is bright.
Okay, and Marco?
I can agree with Marco, totally, definitely you have top talents. So, kids always have dreams. Dreams can come true only if you do hard and fight for them. So I think it's possible. So they just need to believe in themselves and to work hard, and the chance will come.
What do you think of that camp where you are? Remo Stars International Facility. What do you think of the place?
It's very nice, very nice. Like we spoke yesterday, many clubs in Europe who are on top level don't have this kind of facility. This is something what is very specific and unique. And I think if there is more this kind of facilities, that's gonna produce more very good players and talents. So I'm sure that in future, there are gonna be more people who will recognize idea and potential of all this, and they're gonna invest in this kind of projects.
My last question to you before we go, one that is very, very sensitive. Nicola, this is for you. One that is very, very sensitive. In Europe, do you hear of your national team that your federation is owing them their bonuses or allowances, or they make promises to them and they are not paid? Your national team coach is not paid. Do you hear of instances like that in Europe? I just want to know because I really don't know. See?
No, I think we don't have that kind of problems in our country. We have different type of problems with our national team. It's we have also very good individual players, but as a team we are not playing very well in last period. That's the biggest problem at the moment. What we had.
Similar as Nigeria have in past. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you very much for coming to Nigeria, visiting us. and for the great work that you are doing. I wish you the best of luck. I will be with you shortly in Ikene, and we shall see.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Keaton, thank you very much for the services you are rendering. On behalf of all the young boys that you are scouting for and taking to Europe, we thank you. Please place them in great clubs. Give them good contracts.
Yeah.
Give them good contracts, and then they will serve you well and serve Nigeria well. Okay?
By God's grace, sir.
Thank
you for the opportunity.
So I will be with you shortly.
No problem, sir. We'll take a picture. I think just whatever you're wearing, just keep it. It looks nice. Just bring yourself like that.
Okay, thank you. I'll see you shortly. So, well, Osasu Obayuana is waiting. I don't know if you know Osasu, but it would be interesting to hear what Osasu has to say about so many things. He's in Rabat right now. He was there when Nigeria played Gabon and so on. So I will just ask Osasu a question, then we'll go on a break. And when we come back, then I will have my question, my conversation with Osasu Obayuana. But the question I want to ask you listen to Mark and Nicola there, and they say that in Europe, well, at least in their own environment, you never hear of a coach being owed, players' allowances or bonuses not paid. I did an editorial this morning which you listened to. That whole aspect of taking care of the welfare of players to the extent that you don't hear a whisper of complaint before a match is played, a crucial match is played. What does that just tell you?
It tells you there is an abnormal, if that's the right word or words to use, an abnormal level of dysfunction in Nigeria, which has been normalized. In Nigeria, owing people salaries for 1 year, more than 1 year, 2 years, to put it in Nigerian parlance, no be big thing again. We have this shocking inability to normalize the outrageous, the unacceptable, and the despicable. And that is why Nigerian football and Nigeria in general is in the very sorry state it is in today.
Why can we not just, I don't understand it. Why can we not just pay these allowances and bonuses and travel allowances and salaries? Why can we not? When there's a protest, then it is paid suddenly. And this has been on forever. Why? What is the problem? The money is there, obviously.
I am going to talk emphatically to this question you are asking on Monday, not now, because if I start to reveal what has happened, the first thing I will be told is that I'm publishing these things and it will sabotage the team. It is bringing about ill will. So let the playoffs finish on Sunday. On Monday, I'm going to say what happened. And you see, I have said it many times that if we don't have the right quality of governance in our football, all these things will continue. Right from the time you were playing in the late 70s, you were agitating for improved conditions as a player, you and your colleagues. You, Adoke and Patrick Ekeji, were seen as the foremen fighting for your rights at that time. And still, 40 years later, we are still talking about the same rubbish. And those who are responsible for this despicable state of affairs, they are not held to account, they are not sacked. Some of them even thrive in their jobs. So what do you want me to say to this? What do you want me to say?
The difference between what happened in our time and what is happening now is that we were paid so little. It wasn't that we were not paid. Allowances were paid on time when due. Your bonuses were paid even when we won in 1980, if you recall. When they made the promises, they were fulfilled straight away. But the issue then was that they were all pittances. They were nothing. We were earning 2 naira a day allowance. Our bonus was 60 naira, when you won a match, and so on and so forth. So our agitation was for more, not that it was not paid. But now we have players who 40 years ago were promised some things and up till now not delivered. So I just wanted to make that clarification.
Yeah, it's a shame that those who are responsible for the affairs of our country, Nigeria, don't understand that when a government has made a commitment, it is supremely important to honor this commitment in the shortest possible time, because the trust between the citizens of a nation and the government is dependent on the integrity of that government, on the integrity of the institutions of the country, to believe that as a Nigerian, you can depend on your country to honor promises it has made when they have been made, and not having to wait for 40 years almost, or people waiting from 1994 until 2 or 3 years ago before they got their houses. And that includes Clemens Westerhoff, who had Joe Bonfrere, who came to Nigeria to come and get their houses.
Some were taken to some houses, I think 2 years ago, given the keys to the houses. Now they can't access the houses. They don't even no, even really? Even from 1994. And to make matters worse, it is that ugly. And to make matters worse, because this is a matter of serious national concern. You can't.
It is.
We have 2 days. 2 days to practice. The 2 days are not enough. And suddenly, players say, no, we will not practice. We could have lost. We could have lost that match.
Of course. Nigeria is a country that if it is explained to you properly, it means it has not been explained well. Nigeria is an enigma, is a conundrum. How can you imagine that in 2016, our Olympic team arrived in Brazil a couple of hours before the match against Japan? Japan had been in Brazil for almost 2 weeks preparing for the match. Our players virtually got to the hotel in Brazil, just dumped their luggage in the hotel, and went to the stadium for the opening match against Japan. And they beat Japan, that had been preparing so well, which was something that made Dr. Takasu, the Japanese medical expert, very rich guy, he couldn't believe that Nigeria could do this, and gave them $300,000 after they won the bronze medal in Brazil. So, Nigeria is a country, as I said, you can't really explain. When we won the Olympic gold in Atlanta, I hope you know that those players were driving their own bus to training because they had no driver in Atlanta. They were eating rice and stew every day in their camp in Atlanta because they couldn't afford to pay for meals. So is it today that all these things started? I don't know if you have read Sunday Olise's autobiography. You need to read it if you haven't. You need to read it.
Wow. I'm absolutely speechless. But it's like a virus. It's like a virus. It's like a disease. What is happening at the national team level? What is happening at the national team level is actually happening even in the states. States promise their athletes heaven and earth. Even for those tiny competitions.
In your state, sorry to interrupt you, Big Sheikh. In your state, Ogun State.
No, don't.
No. Mention it, because this is a national issue.
No, wait.
Has he paid the athletes that represented your state in the National Sports Festival? Has he paid them?
I think.
Has he paid them?
I can't answer that question. So that's why I can't discuss it. I can't answer that question because you are just throwing it at me now because I don't know what the situation is. but I can bet.
Yeah, but it has been
As
reported
sports
in the Punch.
ambassador.
It was reported in the Punch. It's not just me saying it. It was reported in the Punch, and I spoke to the reporter who wrote that story, and he confirmed it to me a couple of weeks ago when I was in Abeokuta for the Super Falcons game against Benin, that they have not been paid.
Okay. Look, I am grand sports ambassador of Ogun State. It is my job. I will find out what you have just said now, and it will be righted. But the wrong before now is that it's not just so many states. They just promise and they don't fulfill. So it is as if what is happening at the federal, at the national level, is infecting the state. Generally, it's like we don't take the issue of sports seriously. We don't
what
take
are we taking seriously? Look, as Seb Blatter told me, and it is true, sport is the most accurate mirror of the state of any society. Check it. The states that have the most professional organization in sport are the most economically advanced and prosperous nations in the world. There is a nexus between the quality of your sports governance and the quality of the country as a whole. You can't divorce general development from sport development. You cannot.
Okay, let's start from yesterday's game. 2 days, the game of two days ago. So, Osasu, help us just go through that whole history from 2 days ago to now and then to tomorrow, projecting. Take us through it. How's the atmosphere in Rabat? How has it been? What do you see?
Well, Rabat has been rainy. The match day was quite rainy, so it wasn't the most pleasant of days to watch football games. I actually planned to watch both games, also the Cameroon and Congo game, but by the time I finished with the Nigeria game, I went to the other side of town to watch the Cameroon game. It was raining cats and dogs, and it was so miserable in Rabat. I just decided I wasn't going into the stadium anymore, and I went back to my hotel. But addressing the main thing you were talking about, I wish I can give you the answer to what happened before the game. I know what has happened based on what people who know have told me, but I don't want to say much about it now because there is a match tomorrow. And I don't want to be accused of trying to sour the environment when they need to focus to win the game. So I'm going to let it go until Monday. I've already written what has happened. I've just kept it. On Monday, I'm going to publish it. But I'm just going to say this. Because, as you've pointed out, this is a recurrent issue. When you make commitments to players, just pay. When the money has been made available in good time for them to be paid, and you don't pay, there will be problems. If I tell you the amount, but I will not tell you today, the amount that was the center of this problem, you will just laugh. You see, our officials need to do their job properly and stop the nonsense they do. When we try to point out these things, as you said, as you have always said many times, and you're not the only one who says it, that, Sasu, people don't like you. Yeah, they're not going to like me because I call a spade, and I don't care whose ox is God when I call a spade a spade. Nigeria is bigger than you, bigger than me, and bigger than all of us. There is a responsibility for those who have been given the responsibility to manage the affairs of Nigeria to do it with diligence and integrity, and not to be seeing endless bouts of incompetence and negligence, which is responsible for what happened the other day. It's a shame, and let me also remind you, this is the second time in less than 3 years we are having this type of incident in Morocco. When the Super Falcons lost their semi-final to South Africa in 2022, they also went on a strike before they played their third place game against Zambia over unpaid monies. So is it the first time we are witnessing this type of shameful act in Morocco? You know, the more I talk about it, the angrier I get over it, because it is so shameful, so disgusting, so humiliating to the image of Nigeria, that those who are at the helm of affairs don't seem to give a damn about this. Didn't they learn from the last time this thing happened in Morocco, that they have allowed this type of nonsense to repeat itself again in less than 3 years, or just over 3 years? We don't seem to learn.
Our match against Gabon, how did you see it?
I think I don't need to add anything to what you said, because I heard your review, and I think your review was fairly accurate. They played well in the first 30 minutes of the game, but you see, there's no point playing well and not converting. You have to be able to convert. If you don't convert, then possession means nothing when you don't convert. And so they went into the break without having any goals to their credit, which was unfortunate after all the pressure they put. And then in the second half, as you observed, the Gabonese became less frightful, a lot more entertaining and enterprising, and they could have easily have taken that game in the second half. They could have won that game in the second half. But fortunately, football is a game of not only two halves, but even more than two halves when you have extra time. And in extra time, the Gabonese lost their verve and their spirit, and Nigeria had that second wind to now put the game to rest. Because don't forget, it was 1-1 at the end of full time. The first goal Nigeria got, that Akor scored, it was a gift from the Gabonese defense that committed that unpardonable defensive error. That's how they got the goal. And then, as has been typical with Nigeria in so many games, they get a goal and they cannot hold on to the lead. Gabon got that goal in the 90th minute. It's just reminiscent of what happened in the game against Zimbabwe. I hope, Mr. Olarenwaju, if you can hear us, please, could you put yourself on mute for a while?
No, so David Olarenwaju, please switch off. Switch off. Don't connect. Yeah. Please switch off.
Hello, sir.
Please switch off. Just don't connect at all. Please switch off.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, as I was saying, Nigeria conceded the equalizer in the 90th minute. We have to. I was even telling Eric this during the press conference. I said, look, you need to deal with this problem of your team not being able to hold onto a lead in games that are difficult. When you've scored 1-0 and you have 4, 5, 6 minutes, they must have the tactical discipline to hold on to that lead. Or else, whenever you are playing tough opponents in which a goal determines whether you win or you lose, you will lose the game if you don't concentrate. But luckily, you have a Victor Osimhen in the team. His work rate, his commitment to Nigeria is phenomenal, I have to tell you. I mean, when I look at him, he reminds me of how Daniel Amokachi used to be in those days. When Daniel Amokachi will put on his jersey for Nigeria, if he has to die there to get that result, he's ready to die there. It's the same type of attitude that Osimhen has. But the big problem for Nigeria, and I keep on saying this, when Rashidi Yekini was in his element, Rashidi Yekini had one of the best support teams in the world to help him become what he became.
Yeah.
You have Amokachi, you have Okocha, you have Olise. Olise was the passer, the supplier of the passes. You had Amunike. When you have those kind of players supporting you as a top striker, you can score 2 or 3 times more goals than ordinarily you will score. And if Osimhen has this type of support in the coming years, Already, he has scored 31 goals in 44 games. Yekini scored, I think, what was it? 37 goals in 62 games, I think. So, in 4 or 5 games, Osimhen can obliterate this record.
Yeah.
And set a record that will be hard to break for decades if he has the right support. My concern for him now is that Victor spends so much time going to retrieve balls rather than putting himself in goal-scoring positions, which midfielders of the Super Eagles should be giving him. Who is the Sunday Olise of the Super Eagles? Who is the Finidi George of this present-day Super Eagles? Who is the Amokachi of these present-day Super Eagles? We need to have these kind of in the middle of the park and on the sides of the attack to allow this young man to be the striker he can be.
Okay. This is Eagle 7 Sports Radio 103.7. We'll be able to take 1 or 2 calls only. Once again, Dr. Olanrewaju, please just switch off. Leave. Just switch off and listen on radio. Please, it's interfering with the program. Just switch off completely and listen on radio. Okay? So we'll be able to take 1 or 2 calls. 0700 22551037 081 27828497. I think we have a caller. Let me just try. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay.
Yeah. Who is this and where are you calling from?
Yes, Reverend Shuyemi.
Reverend Shuyemi.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. I just want to make a brief comment on tomorrow's match. To the best of my knowledge, the boys will want to distinguish themselves, not minding the attitude of the managers. People governing, football activities in Nigeria. If you think about them, you don't have anything to do. But those boys will love to promote themselves. It has been like that for a long time. You refer to a period in this country that allowances are paid as at when due. It's a pity. We cannot have somebody like Papa Akoye and Dr. Elias, the great sport administrators in that period. You see, the present day people have actually emulated the present day politicians in Nigeria. They are not after success. So I don't want to waste my credit on them. But all I know is that the boys will emerge tomorrow by the special decision. See what they did in Gabon.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Thank you. They did us proud. They did us proud. In the end, everything was forgotten. Everything was forgiven. So thank you, Reverend Shuyemi. Thank you. Yeah. Osasu, I heard. I must have heard wrongly. I must have heard wrongly that the Congolese team that we are playing against tomorrow have been promised $1 million each.
It's not true. It's not true.
It's not.
They put out a press statement to say that's not true. It's not true.
Okay. Help us look at the Congolese team. Me, I don't have the faintest idea about that team at all. I don't have. I don't know.
I'm not going to say I'm super knowledgeable about the team, but what I do know is that one of the advantages that Congo have is that they have a big football diaspora, huge football diaspora in Europe. And they have taken maximum advantage of this to build the strongest possible team that they probably have had since 1974. I would say that they have a never die spirit in that team. And that is why they were able to win the game in Rabat in extra time after 90 minutes. They got that goal after 90 minutes. That tells you that this is a team that is ready to put in the maximum to get the result. And if you look at how tight the game between Cameroon and DR Congo was, it will also tell you that Nigeria cannot really afford to waste chances in this game because they may not get so many. But then, who knows? Maybe the game takes a totally different shape and Nigeria ends up winning the game early. You just don't know with football. So that's why I don't predict results of games. I've never been one to predict. You can only have a fairly good idea of what is going to happen during the game. When you actually see the game being played, you can see the feeling of the players, you can see the feeling of the coaches on the bench. Then you have a beginning and the idea of who's going to win and what the scoreline might be. But but I can't tell you it's going to be a tough match. It should be a tough match on Sunday.
Do we have somebody online?
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yes, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Babaji, from Ajeguna Balabi, sir.
Okay. Babaji.
Yeah. Babadi.
Okay, Babadi. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Make your comment, ask your question.
Okay, I see. Please, I want to really ask your guest, in this time of this, you did mention about the phone promises Nigeria for the federal government. The first now, I want to really ask that, is it from the people, is it from the federal government making this phones, promise this phone, or the people in the affair, is the one that delay this phone, sir? Because there is different, like our president, the DGP, Donald used to say that there's difference between approving phone and there's difference between to release the phone, sir. So I really want to know who holds the phone. Is it from the federal government or is from the people in the affair, or the phone gets to them and they refuse to release the phone?
Are you asking about the money that is to be paid the Super Eagles? Is that the question you're asking me?
Exactly, and for the previous ones, like because you didn't mention the one of the Super Falcons, the same Morocco, sir. So that's what I'm asking.
Promises made and redemption.
I don't know if you're on Twitter. If you're on Twitter this morning, I've actually published something very detailed on this matter, which I think you should read. With regards to the Super Eagles, what I do know is that the government has released money to the Nigerian Football Federation to ensure they can pay the allowances. So the question that needs to be asked is, why has the NFF not used the money given to them to pay these allowances? That's the question. I don't want to go into detail now. On Monday, I will go into a bit more detail after the playoffs are finished. Okay. With regards to the Super Falcons, I can tell you that since August, President Tinubu signed instructions to the Federal Ministry of Finance ordering them to pay this money. I've seen the document, so it's not that they told me. I saw the document, but the person who showed me did not allow me to take any copies of those documents. He just showed them to me and I could only cite them. But they have given these instructions to pay them. So it is for the Federal Ministry of Finance and the Central Bank to pay the Super Falcons this money, and they should not delay it any further.
Hello.
With regards to the houses which were promised to the Super Falcons, I can also tell
just hold the line, please. Just hold the line. Go on.
I can also tell
you.
Mathematical.
Good morning, sir.
Hold the line, please. Caller, hold the line. Let Osasu finish. We'll be with you. Okay.
Okay, can I go on now?
Go on. Finish your.
Okay. The houses have been allocated. The CFOs are ready. They are ready for the Falcons. They are ready, but they have not released it to them yet. And also the ones for the Super Eagles, which were promised after they won the silver medal last year, they are going to be ready soon. So that is the state of affairs with regards to their houses and the money.
Okay.
That's what I know based on the evidence I have seen.
Okay. We have a caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mathematica.
Yes, thank you. Who is this and where are you calling from?
Oladele calling from Abeokuta.
Okay, Chief Oladele, go ahead.
Yes, the question I want to ask is, was it like this in your days? I mean, the payment of allowances to players, was it like this? So, were you promising see what is really happening? Why is it that nowadays?
Well, unfortunately, we can't hear you very well, but I know you were asking if it was like this in our days. And I've answered that question earlier.
When you be given 504 B2 immediately, I mean, we saw it those days now, but it's not happening again now.
Okay.
What is happening? Don't they have the money? We should adopt the pay and go system. Let them pay the players their allowances, then they play. If they don't pay them, they don't play at all. If you don't have money, if you don't recharge your network, your line, you cannot phone. So give them their money and let them perform very well. On the team now, I think we still need to do something. The team has not formed totally. That's the way I look at it. Look at the defense, the middle, and the attacking set of people. You realize we still need some people there. That is it. But I need to commend the team. They've done a lot of things. I'm impressed. Thank you very much. Don't let me waste your time.
Thank you very much, Chief Oladele. Well, yeah, that's my view. Also, I think the team is just getting, better and better. But we are not there at all yet. I don't see a very strong Super Eagles team even today. I don't see a very strong team. We have some
but Big
good
Shaq,
players, but
Big Shaq, you
yes.
can't because
Yes.
you can't because Eric Shell has not had time.
Agreed.
Since he took over this team, he has 2 days here, 3 days there, 2 days there. You can't as
Absolutely.
a coach. I mean, that's why I keep on saying, being a national team manager is not an easy job. Because as a league coach, if you lose a match on Saturday, you start preparing for the next game the next day, and you have days to prepare for the next game. With a national team manager, you have 2-3 days before the game. If you don't do well in that game, it may be 3 or 4 months before you have the next game. What are you going to do in the 3 or 4 months? There's nothing you can do.
And you will spend one day out of the 3 protesting and...
No, people will be on his head. They will be telling you how useless you are, how you shouldn't be in the job. And you see, to be fair to Eric, for somebody who is not a highly experienced international manager, he's only been an international manager for close to about 2 years, 3 years now. Where he started with Mali at the last AFCON, and he jumped to this position, which was a huge jump in terms of profile and the responsibility he has to bear. He has done well.
Yeah.
I know you are not a fan of foreign coaches. You don't like them. You don't want them. But we have to be fair to this guy that given the circumstances under which he took over this team, he has done a good job so far.
Absolutely. I am with you 100%. I agree. He has done a good job. I still think that the Super Eagles can be better, can be stronger. I still think there are some positions that need some new players because we have seen
absolutely
seen the best of some of the old players.
We need players like Fredericks of that quality in the midfield, especially. We need them. So you see, the presence of Frederick tells us that if we do our scouting properly, the players who can change the Nigerian team are there. But our scouts have to work. They cannot be lazy and just be thinking, oh, the only players we can use are players who are for the big clubs. Frederick is not in a big club, but he's a damn good player. So those responsible for scouting should do their work.
I agree. Well, let's take this last call and then... hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You are the lucky man that would be calling us before we shut down this morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Taufik. I'm calling from the United States of Addis Ababa.
Okay, even though I didn't hear that, but go ahead.
Okay. Okay, Arigbaju.
Okay, Arigbaju, okay. That's around here.
Yeah, it's not far. Yeah, I just want to contribute a little concerning the issue of our maybe I would say our government also the NFF holding the players. I think it's high time for them to change the mindset, or maybe we need to shuffle everything, because they have to think of the other countries that they are not being holding the assets. But if they are holding them, okay, there's no way they will join what they are doing. Okay, for example, now the people that say that they come from Saudi to come and start here in Nigeria, we have a lot of players. I think Bishop, we have a lot of work to do. And around here, Arigbaju, here in Iwekuru, everywhere we have the best players. Maybe it's high time for you to be announcing that, okay, maybe they don't have much, they can come there. I thank God that you have a college there, because some of them they don't have any contact or any connection, and they can play very well, even though if they have a very good training, that they can even play more than women. But they have no connection. They have no connection. They have nobody.
Okay.
So that time, I think God will continue to bless you and help you, sir. Please.
Amen. Amen.
God will bless you.
Amen. Amen. If the best players are that easy to find, you just go to Arigbaju or you go to WAS and you see the thousands of young players who are there, and you think you can get the truly exceptional ones, then it will be so easy. It's not that easy. We have millions all over the place. Now there are more academies than there are churches in Nigeria. And these are all filled with young boys who have ambition to go to Europe and so on and so forth. Yet, to find one, that pearl, to find one that will be truly exceptional is no joke whatsoever. To find another Osimhen, only God knows how long it's going to take us. Anyway, Osasu, 1 day to go. Last words from you. We all want to go out tomorrow and cheer the Super Eagles and hope that they win, so that those of us who are in the business of football can survive. Because to think of not winning, that one can kill us. So your final thoughts, your final words. We wish you a great stay in Rabat. So go on.
No, there's really not much more for me to say. I think I've said all I need to say. But look, you see, whether we qualify for this World Cup or not, and in fact, let's even assume we do qualify. Well, if we beat Congo on Sunday, I think it is New Caledonia that is going to be Nigeria's opponent in the playoff. So unless there is a disaster of monumental proportions, I don't see how Nigeria will not qualify for the World Cup if we emerge from the Africa zone. But for me, I'm not enthused about going to the World Cup in the United States just for the sake of it. Nigeria has been to 6 World Cups. 6. Where's the evidence of that in the Nigerian football system? Can you tell me? Where is it in terms of our infrastructure? Where has those 6 World Cup appearances shown in terms of our mentality and our approach towards football in Nigeria? So I'm not interested in just going to a World Cup where they will collect the appearance fees, they share all the money, and everything will be as decrepit and as miserable as it has been for the last 6 World Cups we have played. So for me, what matters is a total overhaul and reform of the football governance system in Nigeria to enable the best of Nigerians, wherever they are in the world, to come and manage the affairs of the Nigeria Football Federation, so that we can stop hearing the nonsense we have been hearing for years and decades, so that we can actually have a national training center. We can actually have a plan for football in Nigeria. We can actually have a plan that will see the development of our domestic league and to create a real football industry in Nigeria. The World Cup is an industry once in 4 years. This is not a football industry that develops a country if you don't have a sound domestic league and football business in the country. So, for goodness sake, can we really address the issues of football in Nigeria and stop using the World Cup as a crutch and as a cloak to cover the mess in which Nigerian football is in? You've asked me for what I want to say, so I've told you.
Nothing to add, nothing to subtract. Osasu Obayuana, thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful stay in Rabat. Go out tomorrow. Join us as we will be celebrating a great performance by the Super Eagles. We are looking forward to it. Their victory tomorrow and redemption for some of us in the business of football when they qualify for the World Cup. And I hope that beyond that, all your words will now find fulfillment. On that note, I want to say thank you once again for being with us on today's show. Join us again next week, Saturday, when we bring you another version. Bye from us. Bye till then.